What's going on, guys? Your boy T-Man here, and I'm back with another YouTube video. Today, I didn't want to spend this money, but I finally broke down and got the Godox AD200. I didn't want to, but I just went ahead and did it. Just because I'm calling myself the self-proclaimed OC, Mr. OCF. Just call me Mr. OCF. So today is an unbox on the item. I just recently ordered about a week ago from California, and it just came today. So I'm gonna show you what I got in my special package, where they offer you some gifts that you technically pay for. But let's get to it. So it came in this box, and I've taken out mainly everything. And so, you know, the biggest is always the best most of the time. So I'm gonna start there. And they got this bad boy packed, so I'm gonna have to use these. Boom. Here we go. There we go. AD200. Now, the reason why, and I'll tell you this while I'm opening the package, the reason why I broke down and bought the AD200, one reason was because of the power. I normally use a Yongnuo flash in the Softbox, and the power I just took on some recent photos, like it barely got me there, and I had to end up going into post and then doing extra editing because the lighting wasn't ideal with just my flash. The second reason I ended up getting this AD200 is because of the high-speed sync. Now, the high-speed sync allows me to keep my aperture wide open, which means that nice bokeh. I can still get the bokeh and have my aperture wide open instead of adjusting for all the light coming into the lens and having to crank up my aperture or crank it down to reduce the light coming into the lens. So with this, I no longer have to worry about my flash tapping out at 1/250 on the shutter speed, because this can go up to 1/8000th of a second on the shutter speed. So now I can just crank down my shutter speed, keep my aperture wide open, and get that nice bokeh in the photos. And you'll be seeing that real soon, but for now, just an unboxing. So this is the AD200. If you're thinking about buying it, you might want to consider those things that I just told you on reasons why you should buy it. But I'm a big fan of buying things once you know you need them. So, you know, you kind of start off small, and once you realize how things work, you kind of add to your collection. So this was one thing. And so it's nice, compact. That's one good thing. Definitely can fit it in a travel suitcase, and definitely, you know, they advertise it as a pocket flash. So this definitely can fit inside my pocket flash. So I have an AD200 here. Comes with a bulb, and this gives you a nice spread on light. Also, we have that rechargeable battery. If you're shooting with flashes right now that use batteries, then you know my pain right now, because my Yongnuo flash, I'm telling you, I feel like I put new batteries in it every time I go to shoot, and my power that I'm shooting at isn't even that high. But the turnover rate for those batteries, I mean, feel like I'm always changing them. So having a rechargeable battery that is supposed to give you about 400 shots on maximum power, which I rarely use maximum power, and even with this, you know, having more power than my flash, I know I probably get way more shots than 400. So also, we have the charger. And then we have an adapter for the bare bulb that's inside here. And you know, the overall nice thing, and this is an adapter for a stand. So it's always nice to have these, because I'm always carrying the stand, you know? Especially if you're working alone and you gotta put your light on the stand, then yeah, you definitely want to have that. And the best part about this package overall is just look at this form factor. You know, like you could just grab this and go, and it keeps itself self-contained. When I'm looking for my flash, I'm kind of like, all right, which flash, you know, and kind of grabbing it. But this, I could throw this in my carry-on. I can throw it in my check luggage, although, you know, the way the airline is doing it now, you know, you might not want to throw anything valuable in your check luggage. But I could take this and I could just literally walk, you know, wherever I'm going, because when I travel, I do take a lot of my camera equipment because I want some good photos when I go do my vlogs. Make sure you go check out my vlogs too. So that's the AD200, really small, compact. It packs a big punch, and like I was explaining earlier, one of the things, the shutter speed, you know, getting that nice bokeh, and then the other thing is having, you know, the rechargeable battery, and also the power. So that's three things to consider, you know, when you think about this. And I was also thinking about going with AD600 at first, but then I started thinking about carrying it and, you know, lugging it around and all that type of thing, and I was like, I'm just not ready for that type of weight and having to carry that light around. So what I probably would do instead is probably get another one of these if I really needed that much light. But environments that I shoot in, if I'm in that much sun, sometimes I can adjust my shutter speed and kind of get more of a moody, dramatic type photo and just turn up my brightness on my flash. So that's the main thing. I'm kind of a fan of, you know, they had where you could buy your trigger solo, but you know, I ain't want to run the risk of the trigger for this AD200 not working or being the right one and yada yada yada. So I just went ahead and bought the whole package, and for a couple extra dollars they threw in a few other things. So this, called it, is the trigger. So I shoot Nikon, so this one is the X1TN trigger. And so they do have another Godox trigger, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why I didn't get that. So I already have kind of went onto the young Newell flash type path. So Godox, I don't own one of those besides this light right now. And so the reason why I went with this type, because they do have another one with a LCD screen. If you're watching this, it's Godox, and you've probably seen that a lot of people shoot with it. It's a little more futuristic looking, but the reason I went with this trigger is because it has the ability to attach something else on top. For me, that particular something would be another trigger for my young Newell flash. Even though I could trigger it using this light, if I'm using two lights, I could trigger it optically by using this light. So when this light flashes, it'll send a signal to the other flash that a light has flashed, and then that one will flash as well. But just to prevent, you know, that flash not making it to that sensor on my other flash, I just put another trigger on top of this and it will for sure kick off every time. So this for me would be my main light that I will put on the model, and then my young newer flash, I will have it like in a softbox behind the model to provide some separation from the background and act as a kicker. So, you know, you can imagine if you have a model with black hair and the background is kind of black, then her hair might get lost in the background. So if you put in that light from behind, it kind of separate her from the background, and that gives a nice effect. So let's see, I don't know what this is. I was waiting. Ready to shoot. Oh, okay. So this is a reflector, standard reflector that you can put onto this light. Now this is good because it actually can help make creative photos. If you know, like to introduce like red, yellow, green in the background maybe, and have like another main light hitting the model, you know, you can get some pretty interesting things. So it doesn't hurt to have that. And this, and so the price I paid for all of this, because I know, you know, that's probably the main thing. Like, you know, you didn't even say, how much did you pay? You know, because trust me, I was looking for a bargain the whole time. I was like, do I want to buy this? Do I want to buy this? But so I paid $365. Yes. And so these are the covers for the reflectors. And so you can combine them and get different colors ultimately. But you know, when you have these piled on top of each other, of course you're losing light. So you have different colors for the reflector, and then also on the reflector you have this grid. And so this grid would basically, this is a 50-degree grid, and so you can imagine having your light spread in this wide, and once you put a grid on top of the reflector, it'll start from spreading this wide and narrow your light to down like this wide. Just to give an example, if you don't know what a grid does. Okay. So we have those things. And the last thing, this was like one of the main reasons, you know, I kind of settled on getting this package. You know, everybody had like some good deals, but I was like, I need the best of the best. And so this has its own carrying case. Okay. You know, I like things that have their own cases. Let me see. This is kind of in the way. Oh, let me grab that. Ugh. Okay. So, reflector here, get rid of this box. So, here we have a Softbox. Now, you actually can't beat this Softbox because you have a Softbox, and then in here you have a diffuser for the Softbox. So, and you have it already integrated into the build where you can place So now you could place your AD200 inside of here and tighten it down. Or you could place a young Newell flash or Nikon flash, any type of flash you have right here, tighten it down. And now you have this softbox that opens out, right? And it locks into place. So that's kind of nice. You could hear it snapping. This is probably one of the best that I've seen actually. Because if you mess with the ones with the rods, then you know my struggle. But that's pretty nice. And so here you have the diffuser to place along the circumference of the softbox to soften up the light and make it look more painted onto the model. So this is actually going to be good because this is another light source. So you know, when you have a small source of light, you can modify it by putting it into the softbox, and you know, your beam of light goes from, you know, virtually this small to being reflected inside this softbox, and now your beam of light is this big. So this is actually pretty nice. So I'm gonna lay that here for like a kid at the candy store. And now you have this, which is the hand holder. So, you know, if you're shooting, you probably have an assistant. I know in most cases I do have an assistant, just because it's so much that I have going on. Let's see. Okay. It has like a locking mechanism on the bottom. So here you go. You have a handle on the back of it, so your assistant couldn't hold it. This would be a nice transition right here. But your assistant could hold it with the handle and kind of like hold the light down for you. So that makes it nice and convenient, even though most of my assistants hate holding the light for me. Cause I'm like, no, I need you to angle it down, angle it, you know. But so this is a pretty nice grab, I will say. Pretty nice, and I like the flexibility of this particular, because it looks like, might have to figure that out. Oh yeah, you just press a tab on the back, and then these go down. So that's pretty nice. All right, so seeing my unboxing, I can't wait to get to the models so that we can shoot and I can use all this and I can show you all what I come up with. This your boy T-Med. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, ring that notification bell, because I got more videos coming. And make sure you follow me on my social media. I'm gonna have it linked below. And don't forget to subscribe. T-Med.